I want to say this. The reason I'm leading up to this. Last week I wasn't here. I'm usually here on Sundays. I try to make all the meetings, but I'm usually always here on Sundays. I wasn't here last week because I went to attend the funeral of a family member. Well, actually, it's my wife's aunt, and she's the last of 10 children. Well, she's next to the last. My wife's mother is the last one. So it was really heavy. So I went and we got there. But the point I want to make is, she was 106. People were glorifying in that. All praises due to Allah. We were glorifying in that. And that's a big number to reach nowadays. However, as I talked to her, the last time I talked to her was last year. We went to North Carolina and we visited her. And she lives in Ohio, but she had a little farmhouse down there in North Carolina. We were talking, and her mind was as sharp as a blue steel straight razor, as a scalpel, a surgeon's scalpel, sharp. But her body, this house, was falling apart. And honestly, when we went to see her, they had her all dressed up in there. But the focal point I want to make is, the minister says, in the church, we were in the church, they told us when we died, we're going to go to a place called heaven. Right? Yes, sir. All of us going to get up on Judgment Day, and we're going to walk and stand up in line, and that's going to be a long line. And we're going to wait, and we're going to get to see where we're going to spend the rest of our lives. Are we going to heaven? Or are we going to purgatory? We going to hell? So the Honorable Louis Farrakhan taught us, he said, if everybody, that we've been in this universe for 76 trillion years, and this earth has been here, and if everybody who has died and going back into the earth all of a sudden got up and came back, there'd be nothing to stand on. No, we got to approach it, we got to open this up. This is the truth. But I want to get to this house. When our bodies, the pastor did a wonderful eulogy. Oh, it was beautiful. Up until a certain point. He threw gasoline on it, and then he threw fire on it and burned the whole thing up. I mean, I'm not mocking, it's real talk. I said, this man been listening to the minister. He said, our sister, she's in that coffin. He said, and she's going down in the ground. He said, I ain't never been in the ground. I don't know nothing about that, but I know what I got here, so I got to respect my life. Beautiful. I'm walking with him. Go ahead, bro. You own it. And mind you, it was a long service. It ain't like a janaza. We used to that short thing. We go in and we get out. Whoosh. Testimony after testimony, and people add stuff. They weren't even supposed to say nothing. They talking. It just went on and on and on. I'm not making, now please, family, I'm not belittling it. I'm just pointing out what we have and how beautiful it is. Well, anyway, he said, after he said that, I can't go there, and I got life, I got to respect this because I don't know nothing about that. Then he goes, as he closes out his words of inspiration to the family, he's talking about, he did an analogy, if a worm got into that coffin and ate on our sister and crawled out, and then a sparrow ate that worm, and then a hawk ate that sparrow, and then an eagle, ate that hawk, it's gone. That body ain't getting up. But on Judgment Day, that eagle gonna give up that hawk. And that hawk gonna give up that sparrow. And that sparrow gonna give up that worm and give that part that it took back to that body, and she gonna get up out of there and come. And I'm like, stop. Will you please stop? But anyway, I couldn't do that. It wasn't my turn to talk, so I remained respectful.
You have been taught all your life that in the day of judgment, a trumpet would be blown, and the dead would rise from their graves. What kind of trumpet could be blown to wake up the people that are in the cemetery today, brother? I want you to use your common natural sense. There was some troops on a troop ship, and they went out to sea, and a submarine blasted the ship with the troops on it, and the troops fell in the sea and died. Along came some small fish. that began feeding on the troops that were on the ship that got blasted by the submarine. Then some big fish came along and ate the small fish that ate the troops that was on the troop ship that got blasted by the submarine. And the deep sea fishermen went out in the ocean and caught him some of those big fish that ate the little fish, that ate the troops that was on the ship that got blasted by the submarine. And then you came along and bought a pound or two of the big fish that ate the little fish, that ate the troops that was on the ship that got blasted by the submarine. Now look, man, tell me where them troops coming from on the resurrection day? They're coming out of you? They're coming out of the fish? They're coming out of the water? Hell no. Your body came from the earth, and it's only a matter of time before you return to the earth. The resurrection of the dead is not talking about people in physical cemeteries. Get that out of your head. Nobody that ever died have ever come back and told you how sweet it was on the other side. And if it really was that sweet, why are you crying so much? Mama gone to a better place. Let me hurry up and go there too. You're going to try to stay here as long as you can, because it was a long time before you got here, and when you go, it'll be a hell of a long time, and we'll never see you again unless you can leave something behind you. Well, wait a minute, Farrakhan. The Holy Quran talks about the hereafter. Yes, it does. Shall we be raised again to life when we have become bones? Holy Quran said yes. The question you got to ask is, what does it mean? You say it means exactly what it says. Prove it. You can't prove it. I can prove that those that died don't come back. You prove that they do. That's your belief. You don't have any knowledge of it. Here the enemy has deceived you, made you put your hope in a heaven in the sky, while he worked you to death building a heaven for himself on the earth. No, brother, if you don't get your heaven right here now, you can forget it somewhere else. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us reality. The thoughts and ideas of people live long after they are gone. The works of people live, if they're good works, long after they're gone. Those that built the pyramids, they're gone. The pyramids remain for us to study and grow from the wisdom of those that once were but no longer are. Life is a continuum.
So anyway, I'm thinking Doctors, go, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, doctors will come out to the houses of worship. But doctors don't believe in heaven and hell because they understand the building blocks of life. You know what I mean? He said when the doctor shows up at the houses of worship, he's coming in there to make a deal with the preacher so he can get some of the parishioners to come out and be his clients. It's about money. Y'all all right? Now I'm going to prove this. I ain't just saying it happenstance. Listen to this. Did you know that once we die, this is from a scientific perspective, once we die, 1 hour after our heart stops, there's a process called autolysis. Now, I don't know if there's any doctors in the house, but autolysis in Greek, it means self-digestion. Now, this process starts to take place where all the enzymes in the organs that have water and heavy enzymes, the cells start to rupture and start to feed on themselves. Now, you can always tell that autolysis is taking place because the person appears, bloated, they'll bloat, and then the skin changes color. It ain't getting up because the body is eating itself up. Right. So this thing about getting up out the grave and coming back, and listen, you don't never have to worry about waking up because after autolysis kick in, that's it. The body has already destroyed everything, so there's nothing that's going to function in the body. Then it goes on to say, autolysis is a breakdown of the cells, I kind of went to it, and the tissues by their own internal enzymes, also known as self-digestion. This process typically occurs after cell or the organism death and in certain pathological condition. As a result, in the degradation of cellular material, factors like temperature can influence the rate of autolysis, with the warmer conditions accelerating the process. Again, organs that are high in enzymes like with water, the brain, the liver, pancreas, and the gastrointestinal tract. That's major stuff in your body. You're not getting up. So all them horror movies we used to watch, Dracula been asleep for 500 years, and he get up and he just starts sucking on people. Ain't happening. You don't have to be scared, because he ain't getting up. We won't get up. Y'all all right, family? Yes, sir. All right, I'm just making it clear. This is what we've had to face when we were in the church. And unfortunately, in 2025, that same lie is being told to our people. So when you lie to people, truthfully, you're setting up for your own death. Because one day, you know who's not listening to that? Young people. That's right. Young people don't listen to that because they are so caught up with what they call on being woke. I ask young people all the time, how you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? Chilling. I'm chilling. Y'all heard that, right? Yes, sir. Chilling just means that I'm carefree. I don't care. Whatever goes, goes. Well, that's where our young people are. You can't get them with this religion stuff. And about dying and going to heaven and hell, they was like, no, they ain't trying to hear that. Y'all all right? Okay, family, let's go ahead on.